back to the show, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about the holy grail ingredient of skincare, of wrinkle-free, youthful hydration. So what in the world am I talking about? Should we get right into it? No, I'm going to make you wait for a minute. So I am solo on this episode. Ashley was sick just for a little bit. Wanted to pause and just tell you something that happened that was really cool. So she got pretty sick and I mentioned to her, hey, listen, don't forget to take your Quinton isotonic. And I think she's on hypertonic. And a few episodes back, we did an interview, a podcast episode about Quinton isotonic and hypertonic. And it is basically a vial filled with minerals, over 70 plus minerals that's for your body. And we both use that daily. We also use their molecular hydrogen water tablets. And I believe the episode is entitled Molecular Hydrogen. So go listen to that. It is a very cool episode. So she wasn't taking that because, like when you're sick, you just stop taking everything. And I said, no, make sure to take it. And I kid you not, she was better in 2 days. It was crazy. And then she did the molecular hydrogen. So we are so excited. We actually got in touch with Water and Wellness and said, can we get a code for our listeners? Because it just is amazing. And they built us our own page. So if you ever want to check them out or get our discount, you get 10% off. You go to waterandwellness.com/spa skin beauty. There's no space in that. So waterandwellness.com/spa skin beauty. And you will get the discount. It will reveal the discount for you. And you'll just love it and use it every day. It just helps with so many things. I'm so excited. So anyway, I thought it was a cool little story to tell you and why I am solo. She's better now, but just everything, we had so much going on in her, just with all her stuff. I was like, I'm going to just record this episode by myself. And also, I knew a lot about this ingredient. Okay, I'm not going to leave you in suspense any further. I'm talking about hyaluronic acid. Yes, the holy grail of wrinkle-free, youthful hydration. It really is amazing what it can do. I will tell you a little secret that a lot of estheticians do. One of our last ingredients that we put on your skin in a facial is usually hyaluronic acid of some sort because it makes your skin so just plump, hydrated, dewy. And when you get off that table, you look like $1 million. It's even one of the last steps in my hydrofacial that I do. And that is a combination. It's a double whammy. It's like the Golden Globe of skincare. It is peptides mixed with hyaluronic acid. And I love peptides. I shared in, I think, the previous episode of this new brand that I have been using. I'm almost on my 3rd month. I'm in love with it. It is called One Skin, and it is peptides. Loving that. Go listen to that episode if you're interested. My skin is looking really good. And I'm telling you this because I work really hard to figure out how to make my skin look good, but easy good. I don't want too many products or mixtures or whatever. And I want to see results. And I'm seeing results. Brightening, lightening, less wrinkles. It's pretty incredible. If you go into our website and get into our membership, lindseyholder.com, just join real quick. We have One Skin. They have a code for you too. Just sharing that before we jump into hyaluronic acid. So a lot of people don't really know what hyaluronic acid is. And I wanted just to educate you guys on what that is. And there's different forms of it and how it can make your skin just look amazing and what the advantages of and why an ingredient's molecular weight matters. It's really cool to even know that does matter. But hyaluronic acid, it is essential for helping us maintain our youthful appearance and helps combat that droopy skin and wrinkles. I would like to tell you what it is just so you would have an understanding about it. It's basically a molecule. So it's actually naturally present in both the connective tissues and your skin. So our joints, nerves, hair, skin, and even our eyes, they all benefit from its lubricating and cushioning properties. It excels at preventing dry skin. Great when we're headed into the winter, so you want to get that extra hydration. Everybody asks, how can I extra, hydrate my skin? Of course, you can add thickening moisturizer, like a thicker moisturizer, but also add the hyaluronic acid, both at night and in the morning, to get you that extra hydration. Hyaluronic acid is a moisture binder. It will bond to the water in the cells to make them look plump. So what does that mean? It is very important. I'm going to give you a big skin tip here. You've got to apply damp skin for this to work. So otherwise, if you're applying this to dry skin, it will actually make your skin drier. So if you're noticing the reverse happening, pause and just think, oh my word, am I just putting this on dry skin or am I dampening my skin? Notice I said damp and not wet, just a gentle dampness, not soaking wet. You do want penetration to occur for that product. So advantages of hyaluronic acid, obviously, like we talked about, it moisturizes. So it helps replenish and retain moisture to leave you with that plump and hydrated skin. With wrinkles, it's going to restore lost moisture and it aids in minimizing the appearance of any fine lines, since dry skin is one of the primary causes of wrinkles. So just add it into those fine lines, especially around the eyes, 11s, forehead, really work it in there. And it's really quick with absorption. You lose less products, that the skin is just so fast to absorb this product. And it is available over the counter. If you go to our skin store, we list the ones that we like and that we currently use. There's a lot on the market. I really don't think that you have to spend a lot of money with hyaluronic acid. There's some skincare products that I definitely invest in and spend money on. One of those is the One Skin that I'm using. I do spend more money on that. Tretinoin, I'm going to spend money on that. Vitamin C, and a couple of other beauty things. Hyaluronic acid, not necessarily. I think they have some really budget-friendly ones. And then you can really minimize the cost on that. So head to our skin store, go to lindseyholder.com, and just head to the shop there, and you'll see in the category with hyaluronic acid all the ones that we recommend. And we, just so you know, we update those. So as we find new products, we pop them in there and update. And then we delete ones that we feel like, okay, we're not really filling this one anywhere, or things have changed, formulation, so we remove those. So it is an updated list. I'd love to tell you about the miracle of hyaluronic acid. This is pretty cool. It has 1,000 times weight-to-weight water binding capacity. So in order to keep your skin moisturized, it acts as a humectant, holding water molecules to the surface of your skin. So just think of it as this way. Hyaluronic acid can retain moisture in your skin by absorbing moisture from the air and holding nearly 1,000 times its weight in water. Oh my gosh, like that's crazy to me. So it can therefore hang on to additional moisture, making it honestly a super moisturizer. So this is why this is your holy grail of skincare. It is your super moisturizer. So in turn, plumping everything up. When we speak to skin as being well moisturized, we typically mean that it contains a lot of water. The abbreviation, I don't know if you've heard of this, but TEWL, which stands for transepidermal water loss. It may be a word that you're not really familiar with, but that is when the amount of water that evaporates from the skin is measured using this phrase in science. So when a product prevents TEWL, it implies it keeps in skin moisturized by preventing water from evaporating from the surface of your skin. In fact, hyaluronic acid accomplishes this by reducing the rate of water evaporation. This component is essential for rebuilding your skin's moisture barrier because dehydration is one of the key causes of aging. So we don't want that. So who is pulling out their hyaluronic acid or ordering it now as we speak? I can see everybody's going straight to Google right now like, oh my gosh, I didn't know it did that for your skin. But yeah, it's good stuff. Definitely highly recommend it. So where are you going to find your hyaluronic products? Like what are the best ones to use? You're going to find them in a lot of things. You're going to find them in moisturizers, eye cream, sheet masks, cleansers, serums, lip mask. I tend to, if you're going to put on something temporarily, you could put on a sheet mask that will temporarily, plump up your skin. If you need it to go deeper, you're going to need a serum and a cleanser. That's not going to, I wouldn't even really look for that. That's not going to stay on your skin, but just a few, maybe a minute or two. So I would go more for products that are going to be on your skin for a while. There are actually 3 types of hyaluronic acid, and then you will find those in your skin products. I want to list those here, educate you about those a little bit, so then when you're looking at your hyaluronic acid bottle, what to be aware of on the back. First of all, there's sodium hyaluronate. This is the salt form of hyaluronic acid. So salt is actually used as an ingredient because it makes it more stable. It reduces oxidation. I always think of it as, skincare is like food for your skin, but also with, salt's a preservative. So I just think of it that way. It is also a lower molecular weight. So basically, due to its lower weight, it can go deeper into the skin, which is really what we want. You want your product to go as deep as you can go. This ingredient is great for normal skin that needs moisture, but it's not too heavy. So if you have oily skin, it may, better for just like normal skin. If you have oily skin, you may want to look for an ingredient called hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid. This one is not as moisturizing. It's hyaluronic acid. It's been broken down into smaller molecules so your skin can absorb it. So if you are on the oily side, that's the ingredient that you're going to want to look at more. And sodium oxalated hyaluronic. This is a specialty form of sodium hyaluronate and has been called the super hyaluronic acid. This one will retain the skin's moisture, and it keeps it hydrated for a longer amount of time. This is great for those with dry skin, or if let's say you live in a dry climate, you also may want to be on the lookout for that ingredient. I will tell you a really important tip. Make sure that your hyaluronic acids, that your products don't contain alcohol, because this can dry out your skin. So if it does contain it, it really should be at the bottom of the ingredient list. Should not be in the first 6 ingredients. Otherwise, you're going to have a drying effect, and we don't want to have that counter effect. You do want water in the first 6 ingredients because it makes the hyaluronic acid more effective. So that's another hot skin tip coming in at you. Look for that water, okay? Most products won't say the percentage, but if it does, look for a solution of no higher than 2% hyaluronic acid. That's a good tip too. Avoid fragrance. I try to avoid fragrance the best I can. Some products, I know they do have it, but it can irritate your skin, and you really can't trust anything listed as fragrance because you really don't know what it is. If you want to know what the fragrance is, just my recommendation is ask the company. Ask them what their material safety data sheet is. They have to supply that. That shows every single ingredient in the product. So you can always ask a company for that, and then you will know exactly what's inside that fragrance. So that is a really cool tip to add when you're not sure. There are skin products on the market that combine different HA molecules for optimum efficiency, eliminating all the guesswork for you. We have some suggestions in our online skincare shop, so you don't have to do the homework on that. Again, it's lindseyholder.com. Head there, and we will tell you which ones combine that. Now, if you're wondering, how am I going to use this hyaluronic in your skincare routine? Let's break it up. So let's start with the morning routine. Vitamin C and hyaluronic acid, they actually layer really well together without counteracting one another's advantages. So I like to do that. Now, you probably were wanting to know, all right, well, which one should I put on first? You always want to apply the thinnest solution followed by the thickest. By the way, this is with all your skincare products. So you want to go with that thinner product and then just think of it as you're building your layers onto your skin. An example would be if you're using a thick moisturizer with hyaluronic acid, then this would be applied after your vitamin C serum. And if you're using a vitamin C serum and a hyaluronic acid serum, then you're going to want to apply the thinnest serum first. Okay. It really just depends on the consistency of that product and how it's made. Okay. For an evening routine, you're going to want to incorporate both your retinoids and hyaluronic acid by first applying your retinoid. And then you're going to want to allow your skin to absorb it for about 20 minutes. So first apply that. Then you're going to want to spray a light mist of water and apply the hyaluronic acid. Because remember, we mentioned before that you're going to want your skin to be a little damp. And if you've waited 15 to 20 minutes before applying that next ingredient, your skin's going to be dry again. So you've got to have it placed on damp face. Here is a really cool tip that I like to use. Have you ever seen those spring thermal water sprays? And you're like, what do I do with that? Well, in our Lapre Beauty online anti-aging membership, just head to lindseyholder.com. I actually do a video and I show you 5 ways to use the spring thermal water. But one of them, I'll give it to you here, is I will use that spring thermal water and I'll mist my skin. And then I will put on the hyaluronic acid. There's amazing minerals in the thermal water. You don't have all the chemicals from your own tap water. So that's why people love the thermal water. It really makes a difference in what, that you put on your skin. So find that video, really cool ways to use this thermal water. And a few I bet you have never thought of, but I have. And they are in that video section. It's called Skincare Secrets, and it's inside our membership at lindseyholder.com. So I have some really cool tips on how to use that. Well, that wraps it up for hyaluronic acid. I told you it was the holy grail of wrinkle-free youthful hydration. I mean, my goodness, there are so many different ways to use hyaluronic acid too. I have that also in our community. And so I have one really cool way that I like to use it, and it does include a beauty tool. But if you go into our skin membership, Lapre Beauty, you will find that out. So again, all this information, so easy to find, lindseyholder.com. Join now. Everything is in there. Thanks for joining today. So happy that you joined us and cannot wait to talk to you next week. I hope you have a fantastic week and we will see you next time.